Hey guys, welcome to the Cardone University Mastermind. My name is Steve Spray, coming to you live from the 305. This is live, actually. So guys, welcome to the Wednesday call. Every Wednesday, if you guys haven't been here, if this is your first time coming to the show, we do a live show based off topics from Cardone University, which you should have access to. And we want to hear from you. So we want you to call in, drop us questions. If you guys have customers that you've had trouble with, deals that you had trouble working, objections, challenges. If you want help working scripts, cold call scripts, bring it in because I'd love to help you out. That's what we do this show for. Can I do a, can I get some juice? I think I'm getting ready to lose the battery in this one. There's no juice on this.
Oh, okay, don't worry about it, I got you.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, guys, look, so welcome to the call, guys. Yeah, there we go. You got to be plugged in, guys. Okay, today we're talking about success rituals. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Thank you. So one of the bonus success rituals is that you must be plugged in. Okay, you must be plugged in. I think I don't see a green light, but I'll keep an eye on it. Just got to make sure I got to have the. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice. All right, guys, look, welcome. So we're talking about success rituals. I'm going to give you 8 different rituals that you're going to be able to use today. I really get these because I get this question all the time. And I got people that, they call up or, they're calling into certain shows or like sales meetings that I do or, companies I go out and provide training for. They're always asking like, hey, what do you do every day to like stay consistent, stay excited, stay motivated? Like, how do you hang in the game every single day? I mean, I still today, I've been working with Grant almost 7 years. I cold call every single day. I've been doing almost 100 dials a day for, how long is that? 300, I'm probably at least working 310, 15 days a year times 6. How many is that?
360,000.
That's 1,800. That's almost 2,000 days of cold calls, man. How do you hang in the game that long and stay successful and continue to grow your stats all the way up? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And one place that I got some of this data, I want to show it to you because it's right inside the program. If you guys go into your system right here and if you look at Master the Cold Call, there was a category right here that talked about the daily success rituals for inside sales. Now, I would tell you that you don't have to be an inside salesperson to use these because this would be for anybody who's looking to set appointments, who's, making phone calls, building a pipeline, prospecting. So what I would do is I would write these out. And these are successful actions that we do every single day. And I've been doing all these, so this is something that I didn't always do. But, once I started doing, look, success started happening for me. And I'm going to talk about why. How they work, how they've worked for me. So if you guys want to dial in, 305-865-8668. That's the number, 305-865-8668. Dial that number. We'd love to chat with you. Success tip number 1 is get up early. Okay, the reason why you guys want to get up early is because you want to start your day right. You want to be able to get up, spend time. You ever woke up, you ever been like in a rush, running late, and all of a sudden everything you do that day is late? That's why you want to wake up early. You want to do your training every single day. We've been telling everybody, look, do your training every morning. Success starts with your morning. Get it right by doing Grant Cardone sales training. Step number 2, I like to work out every single day. Grant Cardone says, dude, work out. He's like, look, you don't have to go to the gym every day. You could actually do something that just gets your body going, get it started. Every single morning in our office, in our sales team, before we start our morning training, it's the first thing that we do. We do roll call, and then we do 20 jumping jacks right in a row. Why do we do that? Okay, we do that because we need to get everybody, focused, present, like in the right spot, ready to go, get their body going, man. Sometimes you get stiff, you're laying around, you got a bad mattress, you need to talk to one of our mattress clients, okay? And so when you need to get up, get going. So success tip number 2 was to work out. If you guys have things that you want to share that you do, dial in, we'll handle those for you. 305-865-8668, that's the number. And number 3, we've got get focused, eye on the prize. This would actually be doing your goals. Doing your goals every single day. Get focused, keep your eye on the prize. Francisco, you want to flash this up one more time so we can kind of show everybody? If you guys want to screenshot this at home, you guys want to look at these, Number 1, get up early. Number 2, work out. Number 3, get focused. Keep your eye on the prize. Do we have any? So if you guys want to write these down, screenshot them. Number 4, know your call calculations. So I'm going to talk about this one, know your call calculations. This is where you should know how many people you need to talk to in order to get a deal. This is where you should know all the different type of calculations. If you don't have a CRM or some sort of dialer or some sort of system to track the amount of people that you talk to, the amount of customers that walk into your store, the amount of people that you got to actually talk to present your product, set appointments, how many appointments do you need to get a deal? You got to do the math. So if you don't have that, you need to start, keeping track. So for the next 30 days, what I would do is I would just keep track of how many people did I talk to. Maybe you start with how many people did I make phone calls to? You keep track of all those. So if I do 1,800 phone calls outbound, 1,800 outbound phone calls per month, and let's just say I close 8 deals, and each deal's, X amount of money, whatever, call it $1,000, and then I've got that number. I just want to take that number and find out, well, how many people did I need to talk to? Out of 1,800, how many appointments did I set? Out of those appointments set, how many showed up and actually got a demonstration? And then I can figure out from there what my closing ratio is. I'm not particularly worried about my closing ratio at this point. I'm actually more worried about, what's my call calculation? How many people do I need to talk to get the amount of closes based off the math? So Grant really goes over in that video how to set your targets. Okay, so we're going to come back to a couple of those. We're going to take the first caller. Oh, they backed up? Okay. If you guys want to dial in, you want to know why they're not calling us? It's because the past 2 weeks we had to back off. Consistency, man. If you're learning anything from the show right now, if you're not consistent, people don't show up, right? So you got to stay consistent in the marketplace. That would be a success ritual. Okay, we just had other things happen and we needed to get taken care of. Bringing you guys more content using the studio. Okay, so number 4, know your call calculations. It's so important. It's what we operate off of here. We operate off that. We need to know, hey, what is the call calculation? Like, what are you guys doing that, like how many phone calls do you need to make? How many ups do you need to take? This is good for you even if you got a retail store. Because you might start noticing that, look, hey, I need to talk to 200 people in order to get 20 deals. Maybe that's your number. I don't know what your number is. But if you don't know what your number is, you're definitely not going to hit the target that you're going for. And so it's really important to understand your call calculation. That's why it's a success tip. Number 5, you need to start your day with training and role play. Every single morning what we do, we do our training before we get to the office. So maybe your organization doesn't actually say, you know what, you guys need to do your training before you come into the office, but I'm telling you, you should be doing this. If you're on this call, you care more about success than, I know you want more, right? So look, do your training every single morning, do it first thing, and then when you get to the store, you get to the office, or you get to wherever you're going, dude, you need to do role play every single day because training is an inflow activity. I'm just collecting data. If I don't ever practice the data and make it an outflow, I'm never going to use it. I can watch videos of Michael Jordan all day long. I can watch videos of Kobe Bryant, the LeBron James. I can just keep watching videos. If I don't ever get out there and bounce a ball, dude, I never start to get into my Kobe mode. This is where, look, if you want to be somebody, that's why you guys watch Grant Cardone, because you're like, hey, I want to be somewhat like him. If you don't ever practice being like him, you'll never actually end up doing it with a customer. So training plus role play is what's going to get you where you want to go. And then number six, I want you guys to write this down, okay? Flash this back up real quick. Number 6, I want you to see it because it's real. Flash this one back up so they can see the screen. Clean your space. Clean your space. Okay, I want you guys to write this down at home if you don't have. I read somewhere that you'll get a 500% increase in production if you have a clean environment. So if you don't believe me on this, test it. I dare you. Okay, clean your desk up, clean your car out, clean everything up. Just start cleaning things around you because that way you don't have all these things just in your space all the time. Clean your house. I personally think that if I have a clean home, that I'll do better on the phones. Okay, the guys back, if you go talk to some of the guys in my office, if you talk about having a fresh haircut, they will tell you that they get more sales with a fresh haircut. I don't know what the phenomena is. They believe it. It's important for them to believe it. But I would tell you that, look, if you keep your space clean, you don't have stuff everywhere, you got clutter all over the place. Because what you're doing when you're in your workday is that you've got all these things getting your attention, just stealing attention units from you. Because you're like, oh dang, I got to do that. I've also got to do that. And then maybe you're on the phone with somebody and you're like, I got to do that too. And then maybe you're doing like 2 or 3 things at once. You're not fully focused on your deal. So having a clean space matters. And so just test it out. Check it out. Number 7, make a list of 5. Make a list of 5. I just did this the other day, and I hadn't done this in a while, and I started to put it back into what I was doing every single day. The funniest part was one of the people that I wrote down on that list, the 5 people that had changed your life, the thing that changed the game for you. Dude, I literally wrote those people down, and I've got an appointment with one of them next week. Okay, I'm flying up to go see him next week. Okay, I actually got creative on that list of 5. I just started writing down these 5 people. I'm like, hey man, if I actually got in front of those people, it would make a difference for me, for my family, for my bank account, my sales. And then I was like, and then all of a sudden, when I was looking at it, I'm like, man, how would I get in front of those people? And then I started to reach out to a couple of them. And all of a sudden I had one guy who was like, yeah, actually, we know who you guys are. We actually would look at that. And I'm like, dude, I'll be up there. I'm actually going to be in the area around the 4th of July. It's crazy. Your guys' office is right down the street. Dude, I made the whole thing up. Okay, guess what? All of a sudden, guess where I'm going? I'm flying up there next week. Okay, for a family trip. Had it planned all year. Last week. Okay, my mom loves it. She wins on it, right? Everybody wins on that deal, by the way. I get in front of somebody who's close to my hometown, right? It literally a coincidence, but I used everything Grant talked about. That's in the follow-up where he actually suggests the personal visit. If they take you up on it, it'd be a freaking great thing. So like I wrote those people down. I wrote my list of 5 down, and then I reached out to him. The guy had a little bit of a response. I mean, literally, I think he sent me back like 3 words, like not right now or something. And then I said, hey, no problem. I'm actually going to be up in your area because my family's there around the 4th of July, which happens to be in 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden the guy was like, oh yeah, no, stop by the office. Just we'll block out an hour for you. Like he's asking me for an appointment now. And I'm like, dude, well, okay. Like, dude, so move the ball down the field, but you don't ever get there if you don't have the list of people that you're reaching out to. So you don't know. I don't know who you put on that list. That could be like Warren Buffett could change your life. You might want to put the people on there that would make a big difference. And maybe each day you just look at it and try to figure out a way to get in front of them. So the success ritual is actually just writing that down. Number 8, find your music. Okay, this is important. Everybody loves music. If you don't like music, then, you're probably not on this call if you don't like music. But I'm telling you, like in our office back here, we've got a playlist going, a sales playlist going that we're actually creating all the time. We're looking for, the right songs that like get us in the right vibe, the right mood to keep things exciting, keep things fun. If I'm not fun, if I'm not having a good time, I can't use that with the customer. Like, man, if I'm going to work every day and I'm just like, I'm down, I'm all hunched over like this, and I'm like, life's tough, life's crazy, then all of a sudden I talk to a customer, I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Dude, they're not going to want to buy from me. If I'm not excited about it, they're definitely not going to be excited about it. If music is a way that like helps promote like good vibes, good motion, and I'm feeling good, and I can get the right vibes in, I want to listen to the right music. Like, I don't know what it is for you, so find out what that is for you. Find your music. Find the thing that like kind of gets you up. If you listen to some sort of music or some sort of I wouldn't listen to the radio on the way, the news on the way to work. That's going to mess your whole deal game up. That'd be terrible. So that would be like negative, bad news. So you're probably like, oh my God, man, this world is crazy. And it's like, yeah, so like, how's that going to help you out? So switch it up. Find the thing that gets you going. Maybe you listen to like one song in the morning. So these were the 8 rituals that Grant Cardone talked about. He said, hey, look, guys, do these 8 rituals. It's the call success. If you guys, was there anybody that dialed in? 2-0? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Let's take some callers.
All right. You've got Kevin in Orlando.
Nice. Kevin in Orlando, how's it going?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Steve? I have a quick question, man. I work for an alarm company, and I sell alarm systems to Orlando. And now my biggest problem is they tend to show interest, but after like 2 or 3 times of me following up with them, they just go ghost on me.
Yeah. Have you been inside of our follow-up program?
No, not really.
Yeah, so here's what you want to do, man. You want to actually go, so inside of our training program, inside Cardone University, what you'll want to do is you want to go in here to a program. Like the only reason somebody would just go ghost on you is because they don't, like their certainty has dropped. At one point they were curious and maybe that curiosity fizzled out after they learned more about it. And so this is where you got to go back in and use different mechanisms on follow-up to stay in front of the customer, to maintain their interest, right? Curiosity is the first part, and then you get them interested in it, and then I move their certainty up on the product, and then they'll get sold. But you got to find out and use different ways to stay in front of them if you've got to follow up with the customer. Now, when somebody ghosts me and they go dark, usually I don't know why, and so I've got to get some help, and I got to find out, hey, what reasons would they go dark on me? So that way I can try to figure it out. And this is what I do. If you guys go back to this, if you go to this program, it's helped me so much. It's called The Reasons Why People Do Not Buy From You. And there's 17 different videos in here. And I usually try to come in and find out, hey, what's actually happening? Do they not have time to talk to me? Is it a personal issue? Is there concerns about cost? Is it cash flow, budget constraints? So I start running down the line here, and then I watch the video that Grant had talked about, and because I try to use that and reach out as a way of like, hey, listen, man, I know you probably don't have time. Look, that's the reason why we're doing this, because you don't have time to do it right now. In your industry, with alarms, why do you think people go dark?
They feel like they don't really need it. They have they usually have another alarm system already.
They don't need it. Here's probably another couple reasons. Yeah, they don't think they need it. They think they can do better without it, or they're fine. They don't want to spend a monthly fee. They don't want to have to go through whatever to get it installed. So there's so many different reasons why. Voice those. Hey man, you probably think you can get along without this. Look, I want to show you why it'd be better with it rather than without it. And I start moving down those angles.
You're saying just say it, bring it up to them instead of having to.
100%.
Okay.
100%. So in my industry where I'm selling training, this goes for fitness trainers. This goes for anybody where somebody actually has to do something. Right? Where I just tell people straight up, hey, you don't think this is going to work, do you? You don't think you're going to use it, do you? And they all of a sudden, they pop in, they're like, yeah, no, we didn't use our last program, And it allows me to move down that line of, listen, just because you didn't use your last program doesn't mean you're not going to use this program. The reason you didn't use your last program, who knows? We're talking about this program. We're talking about the future. We're talking about what information you need to get to the next step. So I start using things that I know were actually true for them, and I cancel out those objections, man. So thanks a lot for that. That's a really good example right there. So, and I'll give you guys an example. If you go back to this, guys, I had this issue last month, actually. So reasons why people do not buy from you. If you look at it, lack of time, personal issues, kids, marriage, legal. These things I have personally seen be real issues in deals, and people aren't calling you up telling you about that. And I had a deal this past month, big deal, working the deal, the guy's ready, he's hot, he's loving it, he's ready to move. And the guy just goes dark, ghosts me hard. And I'm following up this guy like crazy. It almost got weird. Even I felt weird about it because I was going hard on this guy. And the guy finally calls me up and he's like, man, you're freaking awesome. Loved you. Thank you for hanging in with me. Last month I had an issue because we actually had to fire somebody on a sexual whatever. I don't know what happens. I don't know. The guy... sexual harassment at the workplace, some guy hit on a chick, right? He was a manager, and so like the deal, so he had to fire like his leader of the whole organization. So that shakes things up. So like that stuff's happening every single day. So like maybe it's not that, but like maybe it's the person that you're trying to sell. Maybe they've got an issue because like they got a kid who's like an alcoholic or like a drug addict, but they're not like calling you up like, you know, John, hey, listen, you know, my alcoholic son, I just got to get him under control. And like after we do that, we can't wait to do business with you. Like they'll never voice that, right? So like you need to understand that those are real things. And for you to hang in the game would mean that, dude, number one, you need to be on this follow-up program so you can hang in the game long enough, persistently, professionally, just like this business owner told me. He said, hey man, thank you for hanging in there with me. So like in those times, guys, look, because you've been there, you personally have been there. Seems like everything in your life's falling apart. And you got one person who's like hanging in there with you, is like the only stable thing in your life, it seems like. Man, it's like so much more certainty into you. Trust me, you'll get that deal and it'll come with a lot more deals. It'll come with referrals, they'll love you, you'll flip people. So that's why having a big pipeline is so important. That's why maintaining a pipeline and actually, you know, you like following up people in your pipeline is so important. Next caller.
All right. You've got Danny in Utah.
Danny in Utah.
Steve, how are you, buddy?
What's up, man? How's everything going?
Oh, it's going awesome, bud. Hey, we're talking about, you know, the rituals that you have for success and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that we do daily is we role play, right?
I love it.
As we were talking about this, one of the questions I had is, what are some common mistakes that you see when you go into organizations when they're doing their role plays that transfer over to their sales calls?
Beautiful question. Okay, so this guy's asking, hey, what challenges do people run into with role play? Number one, people, when they role play, are usually not role playing difficult situations. Like a lot of times I'll see people role playing the close or like trying to close a deal, and I'm like, you're not to the appointment setting stage yet, right? So like study the early part and perfect it. And so you don't need to run through the whole presentation. You need to study this one piece and get so good at it. Like I role played the exact same cold call script every single day for the first year and a half that I was here. It never changed. We still do the same thing, right? So like I'm still doing that. And so what happens is you want to really focus on that, and then you want to make sure that the people that you're role playing with, that everybody is understanding that you need to flunk if there's any type of communication lag. The guy's like, well, you know, if like you start hearing that, flunk, start over, because that's the opportunity right there. That is the piece. That is the one thing that if they're like, oh man, like if it wasn't good or if it like wasn't real, like sometimes you got to flunk the person that you're doing the calling, because you're like, hey dude, this call is not real. Give me a real call. Give me a real scenario. Let's do this for real. Because if you practice it that way, you're going to show up in the game very well. So flunking people is really important because that's what makes it real. So like when we do that, when I say it, like a flunk would be like, hey, that was where you messed up. Let's start over. And then when you do start over, you want to do this. You want to make sure that when you role play, you're role playing the exact same problem that you ran into. So like if me and you were role playing, Danny, and you gave me the objection, I'm not interested, and then I flunked and I didn't do it right, and I'm like, blah, 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 and you were like, no, dude, flunk, let's start over, let's get a better, you know, let's do a better rebuttal for that. And then we're role playing, and then you tell me the price is too high. Well, that doesn't help me out. I'm not trying to bounce around right now. Like we found out what didn't work, and now we just want to like build that muscle so strong. You know, like when I go to the gym and I look at myself in the mirror, and if I'm like, you know, if I look at my legs and I'm like, dang, I need to pump those things up, dude, they're not matching up with my arms, you know, like, dude, I work my legs out, you know, and like that's what you want to do in the role play, man. So great question. Do you have any other questions on that?
No, I mean, we've been doing a decent amount of role play. The other thing is, I mean, how do you guys make sure that you guys are, one, your guys are doing it every day, but two, how do you motivate them to do that?
Well, it's not like the most fun thing to do in the world, you know? So
yeah, for sure.
We just kind of built this like culture of like, you know, like we inspect people's goals. Like I know what all my salespeople's goals are. Like I know what they have their attention on. And so when we can see that and they're writing those things down, like so many companies underestimate like what the individual actually values. Cause like if what I really value in my life is being met, like I'm going to produce in my company. You know, like what I really want in my life has nothing to do with cold calls. But I know that I got to do the cold calls to get deals to get to where I really want to go. I want to provide for my family, blah, 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 you know. And that's where, like, I need to know that stuff. I need to write it down so that way I know that, hey, I got to role play and I got to practice. And I think the way to make role play successful is by allowing people to actually win in it and actually get something from it. So, like, if we're not doing all the right steps, like if 2 people aren't role playing every day and if they're not getting better, then they're just going to think, well, hey, that role play doesn't work. And so what they'll do is they'll give up on the role play. They don't need to give up on the role play. They need to give up on their strategy and how they're executing it. They just need to execute it the right way. And so I think we've done that. We've established a way of like what works and what doesn't work. And so people actually start to get really good in our role plays, and I can make new salespeople better quicker. And you know, and even my like mid-level guys or even like my veterans, like I'm getting better every day, you know? And so I think when people see success, they'll want to do it more. But they just, you know, you got to show them that frequency is the way to get there too.
Okay, cool.
So, dude, awesome question though, by the way. I love that. So thanks a lot for calling in. So guys, today we talked about success rituals. Number 1, get up early. Number 2, work out. Number 3, get focused. Eye on the prize. Know what you're showing up to work for, okay? You don't want to just show up to work to work. You want to show up to work to prosper. Number 4, know your call calculations. I think probably one of the biggest things that most people, they don't have the right calculations or they don't have the calculations at all. So they don't know how many people they need to talk to, how many people they need to get in front of, how many appointments they need to set. If you don't know that information, then you're winging it. You know, and so imagine if, like, let's just say you're doing good, winging it. Imagine how good you'd be if you actually had a direction or like had some real reality, you know, like even for you guys, you know, Amir, like, dude, if you knew how many people you had to talk to get a ticket sale and some guy tells you like, hey, dude, I'm not going to your event. Like, dude, you probably wouldn't even care. You're like, okay, cool, man. I had to get through that anyways. Cool. That's part of the recipe, man. Good. Okay. Got that one out of the way. Love that, right? Or else you come in working every day where it's like, hey, I know I got to talk to 50 people per day in order to get 5 tickets. I need to get 5 tickets to get the amount of sales that I want. And then if I get that, then I hit my monthly target. And then I'm going to continue to work on that, right? And so I'm always just working on, hey, how do I produce more activity every day? Because I know the call calculation. So do the call calculation, watch the training video if you don't have it. Number 5. Start your day with training and role play. Okay, that is going to get you more confident and to go out there and go to work, to talk to people, to handle objections, to handle uncertainties, to be able to get people that tell you no and like feel good about it and be like, you know, and know how to flip it, you know, and actually have fun in your job. You will be able to do that if you have the right role play. Number 6, I'm telling you, clean your space. Try this. You guys try this. Clean your space, clean your cars. I'm telling you, test it out. Number 7, make your list of 5 people. Write down 5 people that today, if you got in front of them, would change the way your business is operating. You know, maybe it's like, maybe you do X amount of sales. Like, I don't know, maybe you sell like $500,000 of product every year. And like, it takes like, you got to show up and like bust your tail to get to 500K. But like, man, if you sold that one company, like that one order would be worth 500K. What would it look like if you sold them? Make that list of 5 people, man. Write it down. If you don't know who they are, they definitely don't know who you are. Number 8, find your music, man. Get your jam on, okay? I don't know what you guys listen to. Maybe you guys like the Kanye. Maybe you guys like little country music, little swang and tang, some reggaeton, my man. You know, maybe you like that new Aladdin soundtrack. Okay, I watched Aladdin over the weekend. It's a good soundtrack. Okay, makes you feel good. You know, I don't know, like, you know, I'm just trying to feel good to produce right now. You know, so guys, hey, thanks a lot for showing up every Wednesday. Really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. We got a lot of big things happening. We've got Grant Cardone boot camp happening. We got 2 more boot camps this year. We got incredible deals right now. Like the deals we're doing right now, you buy a boot camp, you're getting a 10X GrowthCon ticket as well. So crazy, unbelievable deal. You got to get it. Check it out. GrantCardoneBootCamp.com or 10xgrowthcon.com. Guys, thanks a lot for showing up every Wednesday. We'll see you back here next week on the Wednesday Mastermind.